Hola chicas, and welcome back to another video. I'm Christian and I'm moving to Spain, and this is Chris in Spain. So we're gonna look a little bit on the map of Spain, and this is the wrong way. Here we go, because we're gonna look at the south this time. Andalusia, which is the south 20% of Spain. We're not gonna look at that. We're actually gonna look at Costa del Sol, which is the south coast of Spain. It pretty much goes from, I'm not sure if Costa del Sol is a precise thing or just a slang, or if it's just like roughly something, but mostly when I hear about Costa del Sol, I hear about it. I'm seeing, when I see it drawn on the map, I see it goes from Nerja, this city, and to Estepona or maybe Gibraltar, somewhere in between there. And that's strange because when you look at it, Nerja is here. This is also the south coast, I will say. It's actually kind of just as south as Nerja, so why is this one not? And what about this part? Why is this not Costa del Sol? And why is this one Costa del Sol? I don't know, and I don't know if it is. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that it's at least this part. So let's start actually a little bit in Malaga. Malaga is the biggest city on Costa del Sol, and maybe the biggest city in Andalusia, I'm not sure. Because we also have Sevilla and this Murcia thing going on. So it's at least the biggest city in Costa del Sol, and basically also in Andalusia, roughly. So as you can see, quite big actually. Not as big as Barcelona or Madrid, not at all, but quite close to Barcelona, I will say. It is very big. And then to the east we have a lot of smaller cities. Some of them are also quite big and some are quite small. Then we have Nerja, kind of a big city like this. And we also have, where is it, Balcón de Europa, very popular. Don't know why Google Maps want to do that, but you can see it looks like a balcony. It's on top of a cliff. You can go there, you can look in all directions, look all the way down Costa del Sol almost, and people go there and take pictures. I think it's a bit overrated. It wasn't the most beautiful place I've ever been to. It's called Balcón de Europa because it should be Europe's balcony. So it should be the most beautiful view in all of Europe, the most beautiful place in Europe. I think it's not even close. But it is a beautiful place. So don't go there. Go there, see it, but keep the expectation low, I will say. Apart from that, it's a very touristy city. It's very old school as well. There's many tourist shops, but when you get away from that, it's small, narrow streets. It looks very old school. Very interesting design. There's a lot of different styles going on in that city. So it's also very fun to just take a walk in the city. But it is very much touristy vibe. It's very busy, and it's not the most local city you will find on Costa del Sol. Torrox, also a very popular city. But then we come to Torre del Mar, kind of one of the bigger cities, but it feels incredibly small because it's so local. It's so quiet. And it really feels like a local city where the tourist hasn't ruined it all. But it is a very touristy city, a very popular city too. It just doesn't feel like that. So if you don't want a place that feel like that, it's a very good place. It's more quiet. Just take a single drink, talk a little bit with people. Not too partying. But I believe I was to there was an actual club in Torre del Mar. I believe it was in Torre del Mar. I'm thinking about a club I was inside of, and I believe it was in Torre del Mar. But most are just cafes, chill. Where you can have a single drink and more if you want, of course. But it feels very small when you walk around because it's so chill and local, and you easily get to the things you need. Valencia also a very popular city actually. Now we get close to Malaga. We have Torre de Palawan, Rincón de la Victoria, La Cal de Moral, and Benajaf also. Torre de Banagabon or Benadafe is very chill too. One of the cheaper cities close to Malaga. If you want to be close to Malaga, these are not the most expensive to live in. However, compared to them, Rincon de la Victoria or La Cal de Moral are very fancy cities for rich people, you can almost say. It's still Spain, not the most expensive, but more expensive than the other city than Costa del Sol. I think that they lose quite a lot of the charm of Spain because they are the cities are too perfect for me. I will say a little bit too fine looking. So it's not really me. You pretty fast getting into Malaga, which is this big. I cannot even fit it all in the screen at once. Malaga is a very big city vibe. I will say a bit too much for me actually, because compared to the other cities in Costa del Sol, it just don't have the same charm going on and the same local feeling. There's lots of building, housing going on here. Not so much nature. I actually haven't seen much parks going on in Malaga, but there is a few parks as always. But I think it's one of the cities, if not this city, I have been in Spain with the least amount of parks. Then there's not so much beach either, because most of it is actually a harbor. But as you can see, there is a little bit beach going on, but not a lot, not compared to the other cities. And when you think about how many people can live here, and then they don't even have a full beach, so like 20% of the sea that's covered by beach in Malaga, where in the other cities on Costa del Sol is 100% of the sea that's covered by beach, and way fewer people live there. So you can clearly do some math in your own head and easily see that the amount of beach you get for yourself is way bigger than other cities in Malaga. I think not that Spain anymore. You don't get this Spanish feeling too much for it. We have Torremolinos, also a quite small city, I will say. I've actually walked all the way through Torremolinos at one point. So I walked from Benalmádena into Torremolinos by accident. I ended up in an empty spot where there's like no city at all. It's like just a highway basically going to the next city. So Torremolinos is not that big. You can easily walk in one day and you can walk back again the same day. I did that in the same day, of course, because I didn't sleep on the highway. So but feel very local too, very quiet. But you still have your general amusement, restaurants, bars, where Benalmádena is. I need to zoom out now actually. It's going from like here to kind of like here, and also the mountain. I don't know why I have it on this. I can easily see that. You can see there's a mountain here. Pretty much all of this mountain is Benalmádena too. So it's a very big city. It stretches up here behind Torremolinos, and it actually stretches up behind Mijas too, because it actually borders to Mijas. Mijas is not a beach city. It's pretty much Fuengirola, but when you are not at the beach, as you can see. So if you live in Mijas, you have to go a little bit further to go to the beach. And also Mijas is called the white city, because every building is white and it's new and looking beautiful and fine and so fancy. It's also a bit more expensive, and it's for rich people that like to brag. It loses again a bit of the Spanish charm, I think, so it's not really a city for me. Benalmádena is a very big city, as you just saw, and a very young people, tourists, drinking city. A lot of partying, very hardcore partying going on in this city. But still, I feel it feels very Spanish at the same time, and very local. So you get both big city vibes and local city vibes on the same time, and that's what I like about Benalmádena, how I fall in love with it. It's still, to this day, the best city I've ever stepped inside of. I love it so much. It's like you have everything you could ever need in a city, but still you don't have too much of it. There's a lot of parks too, and beautiful parks. There are very big parks, but also a lot of smaller ones. Also have a little harbor still, but mostly beach all the way. And when you go on the beach, you can go to the next city without even noticing it, and you can do that in both directions. So it's very interesting, very Costa del Sol thing to do. But let's talk about Fuengirola too. That's also a very popular expat city. I maybe didn't say that about Benalmádena, but there live a lot of expats in Benalmádena. But Fuengirola is maybe even worse. There live a lot of Danish people, and still live a lot more of English and German and so on. But like Danish people that move to Spain most often move to Fuengirola, if not all of them move to Fuengirola actually. Fuengirola is pretty much where they have collected all the different nationalities from all of Europe and USA too. But not so many American people there actually. It's more English people. There's a lot of English expats in Spain, and really a lot of English expats in Costa del Sol. In Fuengirola they have English bars, and they even have Danish bars and restaurants. Like all these nationalities are just becoming restaurants and bars, and it doesn't feel Spanish. There are more expat bars than there are Spanish bars. Where in Benalmádena I feel like it's more like it's English people that own the bar, but the bar don't try to be English, if you get what I mean. So you cannot find a Danish bar in Benalmádena. I think I didn't see one, but you can find the expat people owning the bars. So here there is some smaller cities going on here, pretty much until we reach Marbella, which is also a very big city. And Marbella is also a very expensive city. It's kind of up there with Madrid. In some ways it's more expensive, some ways it's less expensive. So it's at least in the top 2 most expensive in Spain. Or just to be sure, this called top 3. What they have a lot of in Marbella is very big and expensive houses. So maybe the houses are the most expensive. So the price per square meter is more expensive in Madrid and Marbella, just barely. But the max price for the biggest house you can get in Marbella is more, because they have bigger houses there. What I have seen at least. There's not so many big houses in Madrid, but in Marbella they have very big houses. Marbella is pretty much a city for millionaires. I wanna live in Spain and get the Spanish vibes, but still own expensive stuff, because you can get big expensive houses that looks beautiful, modern, with swimming pools, everything going on, everything you ever need in a house, but still have these Spanish beats and temperatures and stores, food. However, everything is more expensive in Marbella. Also the standard shop, supermarket, whatever, food, drinks, everything is more expensive in Marbella than the other cities in Costa del Sol, losing a bit of the Spanish vibe again the other cities have. And my biggest problem with Marbella is that it's probably only other rich people that have their head on their ass, they're living there. And I don't want to live a place where everybody's rich. There's a lot of supercars there. I think some say it's the place in the world, the city in the world with the most supercars. And I like supercars, so I want to go there and look at supercars. It also, as you can see, is located quite far away from Fuengirola, the next big city. So there's a train going all the way through Costa del Sol. I think it goes from Nerja to Estepona, right down here, and maybe even longer, but I think I have seen these stations at least. So you can easily go to Malaga from Marbella with the train, but it takes maybe more than an hour actually, because from Benalmádena it takes like 20 minutes already. Fuengirola, you could go to Marbella in not too long of a time, and Malaga in not too long of a time. But in Benalmádena I think it's a perfect spot, because you can easily go to Malaga if you want that. Mijas you can walk to, Mijas you can maybe walk to, maybe not, and Fuengirola is also quite fast by train, so you can go to 4 other big cities easily. And then I have not even counted all the smaller cities there is between here. You can also go to. So you can go to at least like 8 cities in a very short time with the train or walking. It would be nice to be closer to other big cities, I think. And that leads us straight to Estepona. Also quite a big city, as you can see. But again, even longer away from the nearest big city. And also we are kind of at the end of Costa del Sol. Some say it's the end. And a lot of small cities are going on here, and it takes basically the next interesting city is Gibraltar, which is a long way, so too long for a normal day trip. You have to plan it very far ahead. So Estepona, not a very travel friendly city, I will say, unless you have a car. So that's more city if you have a car, not so travel friendly by train, I will say. per car it's more, because per car you can drive up in the mountain too, so it's more like in that case it is. Estepona is like famous for being a beautiful city, so I'm talking beautiful in the old school design, beautiful houses, a lot of flowers I've heard about, and I will say I sound really generalizing in this video, but it's more for like old people than young people. Old people just want to take a chill walk through the city, look at the beautiful flowers and homes, and just get all this in and just take a chill day where it's not so much for young people that like drinking or partying. There's not so much partying going on. It is Spain, there's always a party going on. In Spain, even the oldest people, sickest people can party a lot. So it's not like totally dead, of course. But for young people, for tourists, young tourists, for party animals, maybe Marbella or Benavente, Fuengirola, other cities in Costa del Sol here is more interesting. And actually there's a general saying about Costa del Sol that the cities to the east of Malaga is for old people, and the cities to the west is for young people. And it's very generalizing again, but that's not me saying it, it's other people, so it must be true. No, I don't know. But it's not just me, it's just a general feeling you get. And it makes sense because like Nerja is just for commenting some pictures. Costa del Mar is for a very chill city for old people to go in retirement, I will say. Then we have Benaganababon, that's a very chill city. Rincon de la Victoria or Cala de la Moral, which are very beautiful chill cities, more rich people I will say. And on the left here we have all the party cities going on here, and the rich, total rich city, rich man party city here. And then if we go very much to the left, we end up with some old people cities again. But this part just to the west of Malaga, the most eastern part of the west of Malaga cities, is very young people, drinking culture, touristy party cities, and then we get a lot of old people cities again. So you can kind of split it into that. So, but it's very generalizing. You can live in whatever city you want with whatever lifestyle you have, but you cannot live the same lifestyle to the fullest in the same cities. But if you're young or old, it doesn't matter, you decide. You can have the lifestyle you want, but it is a general feeling you get of the city, and it's a good thing to know, because maybe you know what feeling you wanna get in the city you wanna live in. So what kind of city you are closest to thinking will be a good fit for you. If it can be too much one thing or too little another thing. It's nice to know, I think, and even better to experience it yourself, because people's way of describing things can be very different from the way you feel when you actually step into the cities. But at least this gives you a good indicator for what cities you should be trying to look at and discover for yourself. What could be interesting for you to see for yourself in real life. But this has pretty much been all of Costa del Sol reviewed and looked at on the map here, talk about from my side and my experiences and my thoughts and everything in between. Everything I have to tell you about Costa del Sol right now. So if you like this video, then like it, and remember to subscribe for more videos like this and also other videos about Spain and my journey to Spain. I'm moving in less than 2 months now, so don't miss out on that, because when I get to Spain there will be even more videos and you will actually get to see Spain and you will see how my lifestyle in Spain will be like. But until then, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.